harassment. Recently, there are some people have come up, some party members, with accusation on some national officers of the party. Some have talked about forgery, some are talking about corruption, and so on and so forth. And so we have been faced with such challenges, and I'm sure that we all equally followed how a splinter group attempted to come up in the party, which we have sufficiently dealt with, even though there is still semblance of it. We are, however, not discouraged with all of these challenges, because we believe very strongly that no freedom will ever come easy. Freedom fighters obviously face several challenges. The struggle for a new Nigeria, no doubt, is really, really challenging. The struggle for a new country to change the status quo isn't going to be an easy one. And therefore, we equally expected that we are obviously going to face some of those challenges. We are aware of the challenges that people like Nelson Mandela faced in the struggle in South Africa. People like Obafemi Awolowo, the late Sage, and several other freedom fighters, no doubt, faced several harassment, several challenges. I'm sure even in this country, Awolowo was tried and was charged with treasonable felony and was put in prison, and several other freedom fighters. Ordinarily, some of these trending issues I would have ignored, that has to do with accusations of forgery and other things that is being leveled against some party executives in Labour Party. I would have ordinarily ignored it. But Kamas have told us that if you allow falsehood to thrive over time, people will take it as the truth. And so we feel that it's necessary to make very few clarifications so that we finally put the issues to rest. I'm sure that I will just limit this clarification to two instances. People have come up in the social media space and even in some television houses to say that they were erroneously substituted in the just concluded general election. I want to say it very, very clearly here that nobody, no candidate of the party was illegally substituted. We know person's signature was forged. Those people who are making such allegations, no doubt, are those that are being procured by our adversaries, by those who are afraid of the fortunes of the party and are therefore working to disorganize the party. The most important ones that we've seen, one was on Arise Television yesterday, and I'm sure that's one of the reasons that prompted this, so that the media will have documents at their disposal so that you are properly informed. Because when you speak from an informed point of view, you speak from a position of strength. And you can only do that when you have veritable and viable information at your disposal. The so-called Splendor Eze from Ebonyi State, who claimed to be candidate of the party and was wrongly substituted, was never a candidate of the party. He visited my office one day in the company of the suspended youth leader, Aslem Meragbe, around May, and wanted me to give them opportunity to participate in the activities of the party. And I saw that he was a young man, vibrant, and I appointed him as the state chairman of Ebonyi State. I appointed him to chair the caretaker committee of Ebonyi State. And this is his letter of appointment dated 25th of May 2022. I already have scanned these documents that I will give to Abure to circulate to the press. This was his letter of appointment. If you go to INEC record, you will see very clearly that going by the guideline of the 2023 general election, party primaries actually commenced in May and ended in June. And so in Ebonyi State, we obviously didn't have a candidate running for the global election. And what we do as a party, especially where we have those strong candidates, you know, before the emergence of Peter Obi in the party was relatively a small party. And so what we do usually is to use our officers, we use party members to, we use party officials as placeholders in order to give room for substitution. And so when it was time for global primaries in Ebonyi State, we didn't have a viable candidate around May. And so I instructed that he should put his name as a placeholder. And so we conducted the primaries as is usual, and we indeed emerged as the candidate of the party. And he completed his form from EC09, which is affidavit of personal particulars. And this form, no doubt, was uploaded. And that, I went ahead to sign here his initial. He signed it, and it was uploaded. In the process, Peter Obi joined the party, and the party started booming. Party started growing and developed. Within 2 weeks, we had huge influx of people joining the party, and the candidate emerged from Ebonyi State. The owner of Barcelona Hotel, we call him Edward Nkegu, indicated interest to run for governor under the platform of the party. The chairman was invited to the national office, where he was intimated, and we all agreed that he should go and withdraw and pave way for us to conduct party primaries in line with the guideline of the party. This is his letter of withdrawal, which is submitted. Is also going to be made available to the press, and I want you to do a comparison between the signature on the withdrawal letter and the affidavit in support of personal particulars. And so he indeed withdrew, and we conducted a fresh primaries in Ebonyi State, which gave rise to the candidate of the party, which was Edward Nkegu, who emerged from that primaries. Few days later, he emerged with the state chairman came back with another person, saying that he would have preferred to withdraw for that person. He actually came with one Fidelis, one Kwo, and we said it was late. Having conducted primaries and somebody emerged from that primaries, it was unfair for us to shortchange him and bring another candidate. Information reaching us has it that the chairman was compromised by the powers that be in Ebonyi State, and that was why he came to bring another person to fly the ticket of the party. And so we refused, and we insisted that we would go with the candidate who emerged from the primaries of the party. And that was how he left the office. All that we saw was a petition against officers of the party that his signature was forged. We didn't take it serious. We thought it was normal party thing. And it was at the heat of campaign. Campaign was heated all over the country. And when police invited us, we couldn't immediately attend to the invitation of the police until after the conclusion of the campaign. And immediately after the conclusion of the campaign, we responded to the police. And the police have since concluded the investigation and came out with a report, a final report. The forensic audit report carried out on our specimen, the investigation police report, the legal advice was clear that his signature was not forged. This is the police report dated 14th of August. This is the final report dated 14th of August. And the recommendation was very clear that his signature was not forged and that we are not responsible for forging his signature. I already have a scanned document of this, and I'm going to publicity secretary is going to share with you so that you can read the background of how the investigation was done and the conclusions that we arrived hearing. The reason why I have gone this far to explain to you, because he goes about parading the initial interim reports before we responded to the police that we have been indicted, that we are this and that and so on. And he did that very clearly on Arise Television yesterday and paraded an interim report. And the current report is very clear that nobody forged the signature and the matter has been laid to rest by the police. The second issue I want to deal with is also another issue of forgery that was raised by somebody from Edo, Murphy Imaswe, of also a House of Representatives, who came up, although they are working together with the splinter group that we have. What is happening is that the detractors of the party goes around looking for people who have one issue or the other with the party and try to instigate them against the party. And therefore, occasionally you see people coming up with frivolous accusation, baseless accusation, and so on and so forth. And so, in this case, he was actually not the candidate of the party. I'm talking about Ohunode Adoriomo Federal Constituency in Edo State. It has also been in the media for a while. In that particular case, the local government chairman, Ehiwe Ikoyeme, was the placeholder who emerged in the primaries. Ordinarily, Ikoyeme was supposed to fill his form, submit to the party, and his name will be uploaded. And then even if we are going to do substitution later, he will now officially withdraw, and they will conduct primaries where a new person can emerge. Ikoyeme again fraudulently connived with Murphy Imaswe. We are told, information reaching us also has it that some cash also changed hands. Instead of Ikoyeme now went ahead, went to court, swore an affidavit, and substituted himself with the Murphy Imaswe. Instead of forwarding his form, he forwarded the form of the Murphy Imaswe, and we didn't know. We erroneously uploaded the form. But later, our attention was brought to it by INEC that the person who emerged from the primaries was not the person that was uploaded. And so we brought this to the attention of the state, and the state held a meeting with them, and they all agreed that he should withdraw officially in order to save the seat and participate in the substitution primaries that the party will organize. And so he also withdrew, and the substitution primaries was scheduled. In the process, other candidates emerged that wanted to participate in the primaries. You know, the party have suddenly became large. People were now interested, and a former speaker in the House of Assembly, in Edo, two-time speaker, and a very prominent politician indicated interest. And of course, we wanted quality people to join the party, and so we accepted that she should join in the substitution primaries. Murphy Maswen refused to participate in that primaries and went to organize his own primaries elsewhere. We conducted our primaries where Elizabeth Ativie emerged as the candidate of the party. Her name was subsequently uploaded to INEC. And the gentleman came up again with allegation that he didn't withdraw. But the question which arose was that your name was published in June. If you didn't withdraw, how come you participated in another primaries that was organized in July or August? The police investigated, he did a very wide investigation and came up with a report. The investigation police report is available here. The legal advice, the forensic audit, the forensic analysis report are all here, where the police came out clearly to say that his signature was not forged. In fact, the police currently, from this recommendation, is to the effect that he gave the police false information, that he misled the police. All these documents are also scanned. You will see them, you will read them. I decided to do this to empower you so that we don't create an opportunity for people to malign our character, tell lies against us, and then we leave it without addressing the issue. Like I said, I would have ordinarily not bothered myself in dwelling into this. But I feel that if we continue to leave it, they will continue to take advantage of the media space, malign people's character, and misinform members of the public. One Johanna Magiv has also come up and is also talking about falsification of his signature. They are all working together. It is the group that is working together with the people, our detractors, our adversaries who want to destabilize the party. The matter is pending in the police station, and I don't want to comment on it for now, so that what I say should not prejudice the process of investigation. We are very civilized citizens, and we cannot afford to degenerate to that level. So I don't want to make comments here that will prejudice the investigation of the police. I want to quickly make some very few clarifications about the upcoming Goba election in Edo. I have stated clearly in all my engagements that the challenges we have in the country and in various states is that of poor leadership. And the parties that have been responsible for giving us leaders over the years is PDP and APC. And if we are having issues that has to do with leadership, I put the blame squarely on the table of those two political parties who have been responsible for giving us leaders. And I believe very strongly that where party lack internal democracy, where there's no competition, where there is no transparency, where there is no accountability, the best can never emerge. And that has been my quarrel over the years. And therefore, now that I have the opportunity as national chairman of this party, I cannot be seen to perform less than what I believe. I therefore want to assure the people in Edo that Edo Guba primaries for Labour Party will be transparent, will be competitive. Members of the party will determine who becomes the Guba candidate of the party. I'm saying this against the backdrop that there are also accusations that I'm aligning with the governor to bring a weak candidate, an unpopular candidate. There are allegations that we have been bribed in order to shortchange the party, and so on and so forth. But we need to make it categorically clear that for me, I have done 21 years in this party. I rose from the ranks. I was assistant state secretary in Edo. I was state secretary. I was deputy secretary. I was national secretary before I became national chairman of the party, out of the providence of God. And in my time, God has used me and the members of the National Working Committee to change the narrative of the party. You all know the story of the party, how the party was a transactional party. I say so without tears on my cheeks. But today, the party is a major opposition party in Nigeria. I can say clearly that we are the only opposition party in Nigeria. And our presidential candidate, Peter Obi, has said so very clearly that we will play that role of opposition effectively. And therefore, having this opportunity that has been placed on our hands, that history has placed on us, having this opportunity of leading this party at this time, especially at a time where Nigeria is at a crossroads, where nothing is working in the country, we cannot compromise the integrity of the party. And therefore, I cannot shortchange my party. I cannot do any disservice to the party. I will remain a worthy, credible ambassador of the party. I will always love to put myself in a position, in a situation where I can speak truth at all times, where I can be in a position to make decisions that will be in the best interest of the party.